Yo, what's going on, guys? This is BrendanMushi, and today I'm doing a quick tips and tricks kind of a guide for Zato-1 and Guilty Gear Strive. This is more to answer a lot of the frequently asked questions I get, because as a Zato main, I get a lot of the same questions almost every day, so I figured I'd make a video going over the most common ones. So the most common questions I get are, I'm new to fighting games and or Guilty Gear, should I avoid playing Zato? How hard is Zato actually to play? How long does it take to get good with Zato? How important is negative edge to playing Zato? And I think probably the most common one is, can I play Zato on pad? And also, what should I map my buttons to? Is there an optimal button configuration for playing this character? So if any of those questions sound interesting to you, then stick around because I'm going to be answering all of those in this video. And if you guys haven't checked it out already, I already have a Zato guide on the channel that goes over his basic moveset, how to negative edge with him, how to properly control the shadow, how to do block string pressure, etc. So definitely check that out. I'll have bread and butter combos, block string pressure, setups, mix-ups, all that good stuff throughout this video, ranging from an easy difficulty all the way up to an expert difficulty, so definitely feel free to copy those. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe to support the channel if you enjoy this type of content. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the video. So starting with the first question, I'm new to fighting games and or Guilty Gear, should I avoid playing Zato? The short answer to this question is no, you should not avoid playing Zato. But this is a question that depends on the person. I think if you like Zato as a character and you want to play Zato, then you should just go for it. It doesn't matter if you've never played a fighting game before or if you've never played a Guilty Gear game before. There's really no reason or excuse whatsoever to not play Zato. It just doesn't exist. It's simply your own personal decision. But it's important to understand that you're probably not going to do as well with him out the gate as you would do with other characters in the cast, because Zato's weaknesses are blatantly obvious at all levels of play. But his strengths are only as strong as the player using him can bring them out. But the upside is that the ceiling for Zato's strength and potential tends to be a lot higher than other characters. He tends to have a lot more possibilities in what he can do. Zato by design is supposed to reward players who put in the time to master him by giving them access to an unorthodox and unexpected tools in their toolkit that most people won't be ready for or understand how to deal with. And that just makes you that much harder to beat. So to summarize what I'm saying, if you think Zato is cool, if you don't mind a challenge, if you want people to have high respect for you for picking him up, if you aren't looking for instant gratification like a dirty RAM player, and you don't get mad over the thought of losing, if you're willing to play to learn instead of to play to win, then go ahead and play you some Zato. Okay, so on to the next question. How hard is Zato to play? So Zato isn't hard in the sense that his combos need precise timing or crazy fast inputs or anything like that. What makes him hard is just getting comfortable with using the shadow and also managing the gauge in general. It's just weird at first, but you get used to it. It's like patting your head and rubbing your stomach and then suddenly trying to do the reverse of patting your stomach and rubbing your head. It just feels strange, but with practice you could definitely do it with zero problems. So I hope that analogy made sense. Like, it's not physically hard to pat your stomach, but it's the mental mindfuck of, oh wait, this isn't what I usually do, this is weird, that makes him hard, not so much timing. But other than execution, Zato is hard because when the shadow is dead, Zato is by design arguably the worst character in the game. Now that's not a downplay, that's literally his character design, and it's been that way forever now. Your pokes have atrociously bad hurt boxes and will lose to some troglodyte Giovanna just slobbering all over her slash button. It can be frustrating, but you just have to accept it as a weakness. Your pokes and anti-airs will sometimes lose when you feel they shouldn't have. You have no reversal, even with meter, and you have low health, so when you're in the corner with no resources, you literally have to clench your asshole and pray you get a lucky back throw or can jab out of pressure or something. Just for reference, I remember back on the Dust Loop forums when people used to use those back in the day when Xrd first came out, and I literally asked in the Zato forums, how do I stop getting mopped as Zato online? And I got a reply from other Zato mains, including Lord MF Biscuits, and just look what these niggas told me. So I hop on the forums, you know, baby BrendanMushi, this is what, December 2014, your boy used to go by Bapo4 back in the day. So I'm looking for advice because I'm getting slaughtered online at Zato because I'm doing something wrong. I understand his Oki game, but I struggle in neutral and high pressure situations. How do I deal with pressure from characters that can stay on me in the corner? Like, how do I make people respect me and stop jumping in? This nigga said, high pressure situations? Nigga, you're Zato. Don't get into that situation. Try to blitz shield, mash out, try to clip bad long range pokes with Amorphous. Do dumb stuff. If you die for it, it doesn't make that much of a difference. If you get a lucky throw, you can steal the round. And you know what? As funny as that shit is, he is absolutely right. He is spitting. Because it's true. Like, Oftentimes, Guilty Gear is a game where you just kind of have to accept that some rounds are a throwaway. Oftentimes, Guilty Gear is a don't get put in that situation. It's not how do I deal with that situation, it's how do I not get put in that situation. Zato is very high risk, high reward. If you get knocked down and you have no resources, you are going to be sweating bullets. But you can do the same thing to other people. Zato can literally snowball around in like 2 to 3 mix-ups. That's how he is. And I'd say the third and final reason why he's hard is because in general he has so many options and playstyles that you may often find yourself, what should my game plan be? Like, what exactly should I be doing? You'll find yourself in the lab a lot just learning tons of creative setups and shit. But sometimes when you're looking at setups or something that someone else is doing, you have to like pause the video and be like, okay, so how did he hold the buttons there? How did he release? Oh, he moves Eddie back a little bit. So it's just less obvious what the inputs are sometimes for a combo. But anyway, don't let these things scare you off from playing him. I'm just trying to set the right expectations for what exactly does it mean when people say that Zato is difficult. It's up to you to determine if this is too difficult for you or not. Because every character is going to have their own weaknesses, and every character is going to have something about them that might be a bit of a challenge for you to do. These are just what makes Zato hard. The next question is, how long does it take to get good with Zato? Honestly, I don't like this question because what does good even mean? And also it depends on your current skill level. Someone that has never touched a fighting game in their life is going to be starting at a different spot than someone who has experience with fighting games but is new to Guilty Gear. It also depends on how much time you put in. The more time you put in, the faster you'll get better. So don't trip. And it's not about when you get good, it's just focusing on getting better. This is already a Leo player's mindset that you have, and you need to get out of that. So you need to be focusing on getting better than you were the last time you played and learning from mistakes and losses. The answer to this question is going to be different from person to person. It may take you weeks, it may take you months, it may take you a year to become comfortable on Zato and be able to beat the average to above average player consistently online. Like I said, just focus on improvement and have fun with the game, man. Don't stress about that. How important is negative edge to playing Zato? Negative edge is basically the character. Negative edge, for anyone that doesn't know, refers to when an attack in a fighting game comes out from you releasing the attack button rather than pressing it. This is how you actually make Eddie do attacks. So when Eddie and Zato are both in play, if you want Zato to attack, Zato will attack by you pressing the button, but Eddie will attack when you release buttons. So if you want Zato to attack but not Eddie, you'll have to press buttons down and hold them, but then you'll release one specific button while still holding the others so that Eddie will do the specific move that you want, and you're weaving your attacks in and out together. And so this can be really difficult because you're basically playing fucking Twister on your fight stick, right? And so for some people this is super weird, and it is. It can be really confusing for beginners, and it's something you have to get used to. So to answer the question, yes, negative edge is crucial to playing the character. And like I said, it basically is the character. But you don't need to be a master of negative edge to play Zato. You learn a few basic combos and pressure strings and get by simply on that and pick up more as you go. Don't be afraid of him. If you think he's cool and you like a challenge, just jump in. And finally, can I play Zato on pad, and also what should I map my buttons to? If you play on stick, it literally doesn't matter. You can bind the buttons to literally whatever you want. If you play on pad, things can be a little bit tricky because on a fight stick, you have potentially 5 fingers all available simultaneously to press and hold as many buttons as you like. But on pad with the default button layout, you'll probably find that it's pretty uncomfortable to try and hold multiple buttons when the standard X, square, triangle, and circle buttons are 4 buttons that you have basically just your thumb to use to press and hold various ones. You'll find certain combinations will feel just extremely awkward or downright impossible. So there's a couple of ways you can fix this. So you could change your button mappings to where you put the punch, kick, slash, and heavy slash buttons as your L1, L2, R1, R2. That way you can have your pointer finger and your middle finger on L1, L2, and R1, R2 with both hands. That way you have 4 fingers on 4 of the buttons at the same time, and then you can just map your dust to like circle or something like that. So that's an option as well. You can also set the controller down on your lap and use it like a fight stick. In my opinion, I think all y'all niggas that do stuff like this are doing the most. Just buy a fight stick, like damn, it ain't that expensive. But at the end of the day, it just depends on what's comfortable for you. Beautiful Dude is a very prominent pad player who plays Zato. He's played him in tournament and had great results with him, even in older games when Zato was harder. And he plays him with the default settings as well. So there's no excuse. Yes, you can play Zato on pad. Yes, you can play Zato even if you've never played a fighting game before, even if you've never played a Guilty Gear game before. Yes, he is the hardest character in the game. Yes, you are going to run into some challenges and some struggles until you get the hang of him, but anyone can do it. It's not like you're born with the ability to play Zato or something like that. It's not like you have to train for 2 to 3 years before you're finally able to make it to floor 7 and get your first win. Like, no, that's not how it works. If you like Zato, you think he's cool, try him out and try to watch some guides, try to learn from better Zato players, and just practice and learn as you go. And I promise that he will feel natural to you eventually. So I hope that this was helpful to you guys, and I hope that this was able to answer a lot of common Zato questions for you. So if somebody is ever asking questions about Zato or if they should play Zato, feel free to send them this video. And I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.